another story I want to tell you about another RV we had to get fixed up. This was a beautiful, I believe that it's a 2003 Alfa. This thing probably cost $250,000 back when it was brand new. This customer reached out to me. He just picked it up. He just got it through some horse trading deals or something like that, and it needs some work, a lot of work. I'm Ron with Ron's Classic RVs. Follow along with me. I want to tell you the story of what it took to get this beautiful RV back into shape. Well, good morning. It's like 7:00 a.m. early. Getting our day started because it's summertime, and you can get your most amount of work done in the morning before the heat sets in and almost kills you. We got something new to work on here. We have another camper that's just nasty. This might be a 2007, maybe. We don't know yet. It's an Alfa. It is a huge camper, and it's a high-end one. But it got a little bit abandoned, and then it got stolen, and then it turned into a party house where they did a little meth in it for a while. Yeah. And then it got recovered, and now it's here at my place to get taken care of. Let's take a look at this little dream boat. Nothing to see here, just some of the guts hanging out of it. But it gets oh, what's that smell? Oh yeah. Luckily it was just partied in for like a week or a weekend, so it doesn't have like meth residue. But we gotta take everything, throw it to the dump, and oh Jesus. Windows are open because there's just bags of garbage stacked up in here and they're festering. I just don't know why people do this to nice stuff. Boggles my mind. That helped. All the clothes. Oh, this is just my worst part of the day is having to do this. And then you got to find all the stuff that you need and save it. Oh, who does that? Oh, it's just terrible in here. They closed all the blinds so they could do the smoking of the meth, I guess. I'm going to suit up so we can start getting this all taken care of, because it ain't going to clean itself. Well, I got about an hour 20 in so far. I got the whole front end cleaned out here. There's parts that I'm finding that are gonna go to something. We gotta do the kitchen now. Cabinet, oh gosh, all the stuff. That's looking quite a bit better. Wish I had a vacuum. Nasty. And this seems normal. I'm thinking 2 pickup loads once we get everything out of there. Furniture, mattresses. They are all gone. But yeah, now it's 7:20 a.m. and I'm a little dehydrated. Go figure. So get some liquids in me. Fire up Old Remembrance and take her to the dump. Yeah, that seems about right. Sure. That's one load. We got the basement to do too. So, looking quite a bit better in here. Still got some big stuff to get rid of, but the little things, yeah, they're all gone. Yep. We need to get a carpet cleaner in here. It doesn't even smell anymore. Yeah, nice. Time to tarp it, take it to the dump. We're back on the Alfa right now. We're getting ready to have the carpet cleaning guys show up and do some extraction on this carpet that's in here because it's really, really funky. Let me show you what the before is going to look like. Steps coming up in here. But this carpet it's supposed to be more of a, not that color. And the little lady wouldn't let me use her vacuum cleaner to clean it. But the carpet cleaning company said that they will vacuum the floor and they'll do the extraction on it. Get down here. We're going to extract these chairs to try to save them. But there's just some areas where it's just really, really stained up. Another thing is that this headliner here, if I get back in the back, and you can see that the headliner here is more of a tan color. And as time goes by, you can see that it gets darker and darker, and really dark here above this fan. And we're going to see if he can extract that also, so we can get all the soft goods in this thing a lot nicer. So here's our before, and then we'll have an after. Carpet all cleaned up. It looks like there's stains down there, but this is just from the sun shining in. Sparkly clean. My goodness. Going into the bedroom. Came out really nice. And headliner's even white. Yep. Back on the Alfa. We are taking all the stuff that was on the ceiling, the lighting fixtures. They were funky, and everything was pulled out. So we're cleaning them, putting them back on. Air conditioner lids, more lights, more wires just hanging everywhere. I had to replumb the sink drain right here because it had just the wrong stuff on it completely. So new drain basket. It didn't even have a trap in it, which most RVs don't. So we got hot running water in here now. Most of the plumbing system is functional. I just got to get all the stuff that I took apart and out to necessitate cleaning the ceiling so nicely, and cabinets that I had to use to get in there to fix all the plumbing problems. Now I got to put it all back together. Sure, stack of lights, stack of fan blades, air conditioner. Ugh, goodness. And after just a short 5 hours, we got everything put back together in here. All the lighting in the ceiling is in, all the speakers are in, all the dome cover right there, air conditioner shroud, front lights, antenna, all this stuff was pulled down. Cleaned up the kitchen, cleaned these slides. All these guys were falling off because they only used like 2 screws to hold the things in. So we had to rebuild all these. Rebuilt this one under here. Did the sink. We've got to pull that out to get it wired up. Got a new one of these water filter housings coming in. Sinks are clean. Rotter's running hot. Oh my goodness. It's just getting better and better. Still need to get like a cleaning service in here. We got to put the blinds up on that window right there. We got to put a new drain in here because this one, it sits up above the bowl because somebody put the wrong one in and doesn't allow the water to drain out. Cleaning of more things. Remember to use your exhaust fan when you're cooking so it wouldn't get so dirty. That's what the biggest problem with this was, is they just spent a lot of time cooking beef, ground beef, meat, and didn't use the fan, and everything just stayed inside there. There was a couch right in there, but they pulled it out for some reason. Now that we've got all the thing cleaned up so that a guy can be inside of it and not feel like you need a shower all the time, we got to work on the RV systems in it. A lot of these systems are in poor shape, mostly due to the fact that the previous owner was not very good at fixing stuff. So a lot of the systems are down right now. One of the biggest systems is the 120 volt system, the boiler in it, the plumbing, a lot of stuff just needs some attention to get this thing stabilized so that it can be used as an RV, or in this case, a bunkhouse. So let's get into that and see what it's going to take. Now we got to go into the stuff like the basement air conditioner doesn't come online. The primary heating source, which is an aqua hot boiler, it's been taken apart and it's not scheduled to be fixed because there's a secondary heating source in here, just a normal gas furnace. We got to work on getting that online, get the plumbing finished up, and because it's not going to be an RV anymore, it's going to be a guest house at a horse ranch. So we might be almost done working on it, because time will tell. Time will tell. Well, it is October 1st, 2024, and we are back to working on this Alfa, the nasty one. I made it nasty again because I've had to drag out all of the electrical stuff, the 120 volt panels, because we had significant short outs in this panel here with the AC load and this panel over here with the GFCI load. And I had to root around under here into this rat's nest and chase wires down, and I ended up making just a flow chart of where all the wires go and the outlets that didn't work and what they're doing, and come to find out that we found a short. We had an issue. Had to pull the fridge out some to get to it. But, this thing showed up with bare wires hanging out of it here. We had to pull some outlets out just to chase them down. Exterior outlets, they just had 3 wires initially wired into the outlet here, which is not code. So we've got pigtails coming off of them. These aren't live. Get the outlet in there. Here's the back of the refrigerator area. And this outlet right there, well, it used to look like the one up above it. The RV industry loves to use these things right here. And to me, they're a lot like Scotch locks. And any real mechanic knows that Scotch locks are a joke. This uses wire right here and it scotch locks the wires in. So they use this as a junction block, and it was holding, and you can see that it's burned inside there. The black wire and the ground, they were shorted out and they were touching each other and just almost trying to start a fire. That was our big problem right down into there. We're also chasing down a problem with this leg 2 for the basement air conditioner. This one was also shorting out to ground for some reason, and I haven't been able to chase that down too much. But it does have one leg that works. This has got 2 compressors, 2 evaporative coils in it. It's like 2 of everything in one great big unit. So we'll air condition, you know, without one if we can't fix this. Because these are not made like a house. We got to try to get 12 volt DC down to this furnace main board right here. The propane furnace is having issues. Just tons of stuff. But I got to take all the electrical components that I bought and put this back together, plumbing components, and get it purdied back up again, get it vacuumed out, get these outlets all working since I found a short. It's time to put them back together. Ick, everywhere. It's October 15th now. Getting back on the Alfa. I can avoid this like the plague because I got this really bad job I got to do. To turn it, I got to put it in, which involves bear hugging the old one to bolt in the new one. There should be a bolt down under here, and yeah, buried. That's filth, ick. And then of course another bolt over on this side somewhere here, over here, back in there, and a water line, and then the turlet's out. And I've just been avoiding it. But it's just time. I got to finish this thing up. We're almost out of summertime here. Pray for me. This is one of those, this is the back wall right here. And for some god unknown reason, some toilets for RVs are made where the flange bolts, instead of being straight across like this, they put them in at an angle like that, just to be difficult. So now we're going to take this floor, this thing, it's got a name, I don't know what it is. And all these screws got to come out, and then we got to see if we can rotate it and screw it back into the floor. Hopefully. Normally they don't glue the drop tube into the tank because there's a gasket down there and we can spin it in the gasket. Ish. Well, of course, after unbolting all this, I couldn't rotate the flange. So here's a line I drew in there, and we got to do the old emergency repair studs, drill a hole, and screw these into the subfloor, screw the toilet onto the top, to make this ordeal happen. Yep, sure. Now we did everything right, toilet will bolt right up to it. That's what we're hoping for. And now we've got a nice, brand new toilet put in here, virginal. Yep. Got to redo the water line on it as well, as usual. Now we got to focus on this, because there's a huge gap underneath there. Somebody put the wrong faucet in. They wanted one of these fancy things and it doesn't fit the hole. So we'll take this out and then redo it and get the right faucet in, because this line right here is where the water drains to and stops, and then it evaporates. Homeowners doing their own stuff. Heck. This is better. It's flush, so it can do what it needs to do. Now they've got a bar sink mounted in here, and there's no to do the plug up, so we got to go really old school with one like that. But oh, that didn't last. But honestly, who plugs these things anyway? I've never plugged a sink. Plugged a toilet. Oh. And for the life of me, I can't quite figure out why. Why did you do? You know, it was loose. I had it. This is what ends up happening when people don't know how to fix PEX. This is what happens when you don't winterize properly and suck antifreeze in through here. So we replace this because this one is broken. Just a lot of things that are just so wrong on this. We're going to fix this up, make it better. Not this horse, this ick. Now just a little bit of work. It's hooked up like it's supposed to be. And these parts actually cost less than the parts that was on there to fix it with. Unbelievable. Now we're ready to test out the fresh water system once again and be able to put water in the tank. Here's the tank supply coming up here because this was leaking, that was all buggered up. So we know it worked on city water. Now we're gonna try tank water. The majority of this thing's been fixed up now for quite some time. It belongs to a farmer rancher, and they are in the middle of harvest right now. And he said he ain't gonna be able to get it. The corn is wet, it ain't gonna be until February. So we gotta get it winterized, get it stabilized so that nothing bad's gonna happen to it. So we're gonna go through that. I'll show you what it takes to winterize out one of these higher end coaches. Some extra things in it that you gotta tend to. It's October 29th. We're back on the beautiful Alfa over here. We're just finishing up with everything that needs to be done because I can put off till the last minute better than most people can. Yeah. We're winterizing it now. So we're gonna drain out all the water. I just tested the freshwater tank because we had to fix the filler neck on it. And we had to fix the water pump and everything. And we had to work on this area down under here, get it put back together. So now we're just draining the tank, the freshwater tanks, water tank. We're gonna hook some compressed air up to it, blow the lines out, and then we're gonna follow it up with some antifreeze. We're probably gonna use 5 to 6 gallons of antifreeze on this because it's got a washer and dryer in it. So you gotta get some antifreeze in the washer and run it in and then spin it and get it out and everything. So that takes a little bit longer to do. And this freshwater tank is big because it takes forever for it to drain. We pressurized the system up to 30 PSI. I got a regulator on there. Goes into the fresh water line. Right now we're blowing out the hot water heater and the lines that service it. Then we gotta cap this off so we can go do the stuff on the inside. Turn the water on, you run it until it blows. Gotta do this to the lav and to turlet. Don't forget to shower. This one's got one of these things with one of those things in it. So you gotta blow that out. Oh. And then with all the fancy features, it's also got ice maker that we gotta blow out. And it's got a broken line right there. Got an outside faucet right here. How do you believe this is all blown out? Now it's time to pump some antifreeze into it. We're gonna take the tank input off of right here. This is where it gets its suction from the freshwater tank. White hose going in to the old 5-gallon bucket. And we're still waiting for the tank to drain, and I can't do anything until that's done. So that's putting me behind. So our water pump's been pumping the pink stuff into the lines, and it just stopped. And I want to make sure that the line going up to the water heater bypass has got antifreeze in it. So we're going to go to normal flow till we see just a little bit of antifreeze coming out, which we do. And then we're gonna put this back into bypass. Pink stuff coming out. Pink stuff is coming out. Ooh, mercy. Now we know this is good and winterized. We'll close that up. Got the drain plug right there for it. So she's ready and waiting for next year. leaking on us. Pink stuff coming out. Yep, that's winterized. We're going to turn that valve off right here, but we're also going to have to pull this container off and empty it out by hand because the water, it's still got water in there. So we can get there, pink, yep. Pink on the cold, pink on the hot. Same thing over here. See how water comes out initially, it's white or clear, then it turns pink. And you gotta run enough down inside there to fill up the trap, displace all the water that's in the trap, so your traps don't freeze. Cold, of course, doesn't have a trap in it, it's just straight down into the black tank. And then this feller over here. Clear, then it turns pink. Once again, we want enough down inside the trap so that the trap doesn't freeze. Light switch into the shower. Yeah. And then I gotta figure out how to work this thing on. We're gonna want to do a rinse, extra rinse. Oh, it's filling up. I can see the pink stuff in there. So we're gonna have the pink stuff running in there. We got enough, we gotta get enough in to displace the water that may be in it and in the pump. We've got it set between, well, it's on warm, so we're drawing from hot and cold at the same time. It's got enough antifreeze in there. Turn that off. Now we want it to spin and drain. We gotta keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's draining, so that way we got that antifreeze down inside the pump. Couldn't be happier. Let's get this off. See, a lot of people always forget about these, and then they break them. I'm gonna have to get some antifreeze and pour it down this one because it's got a separate drain of its own. And I ran out of RV antifreeze down below. So we'll turn the pump off, and this thing is all ready to go for the winter. Well, this thing sat at my place for probably about 8 months before it finally got picked up and went back to it's going to its new home now. Learned a lot about them. You know, these higher end coaches, when the systems fail on it, the components are very expensive to get. And being that it's over 20 years old right now, it also makes it where some of the parts you can't even get anymore. They've updated them and they don't support it in this industry. So if you're ever thinking about getting a high-end coach and it's old, my idea is that don't buy one in the first place because they got so much depreciation. And then they're not supported much more than about 6 years out, 7 years out. Yeah, no. But they're always fun to work on. It's like the challenge. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Ron with Ron's Classic RVs. See you next time.